What's up with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There he go talking that boxing again. Yeah, and when you come in the building, like always, make sure you first hit that like button and then jump in the comment section and let me know you in the building. Yeah, we gonna do something different for y'all today. I'm gonna have a live call-in show for y'all today. And we gonna cook like always. Chris Mitchell off in the building. What's happening with it? Catman 8785. What's good with it? Salute. Yes, sir. And like I said, we're gonna do it different today. I'm gonna have a live call in. So once we get people in the building, I'm gonna put the number up and we're gonna start cooking. Smooth Groove Boxing always coming through showing love and support in that super chat. He say support the grind. No doubt, man. I appreciate you. Hey, man, you can't. Kelly Johnson, salute to you, man. You can't write Keith Thurman off. Keith Thurman, hey, he's still one of the top guys in the division. ISM Group. What's good with it, man? What's happening with it? Mike Ryan, what's good with it? Yes, it's about to get real sticky in the welterweight division, Mike Ryan. Yes, sir. So we gonna definitely have a great show today. Cause like I said, I'm gonna do a live call-in show for y'all. So anybody that wanna say something, you free to call in once I put that number up. Yes, sir. And like I said, hit the like button as you come in the building. Smash on the like as you come in the building. Todd Swindle, straight out that ATL. What's happening with it, Todd? You say Porter should do Crawford and mandatory. Yeah, man, we gonna see. We gonna talk about it today. Like I said, we gonna get it shaking and make sure that you hit the like button as we wait. To get the show started up. Y'all give me a second here. Cortez Bowles say Thurman versus Booth, man. That shit will be that. Hey, that will be hard, but it ain't gonna happen. None of them dudes. They already pretty much said ain't none of them dudes gonna fight Boots. He in the same position as Errol Spence was at one point in his career, and that's just what it is. Just what it is. One second for y'all. I'm trying to find this little article. So let's talk about real quick, while we getting people in the building. Let's talk about the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. First, I want to get everybody's take. Do y'all think that this fight is going to happen? Do y'all think that Tyson Fury is actually going to get in the ring with Wilder? And, do y'all think it's going to go down? Because me, real talk, With all of the shit that Tyson Fury been doing, man, I'm real skeptical that it's gonna happen. Do y'all think that this Tyson Fury Wilder fight gonna happen? Catman 785 say no. Yeah, man, and I'm trying to get a refund back on my tickets because, like, I look at it like this: if the fight go down, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the fight if it go down. But they trying to hold my money, and you know what I'm saying? They don't want to let me know if they're gonna give me a refund back and all of that shit. So I don't want you doing that. If the fight goes down, if I know it's gonna go down, then once we get close to that date and Tyson Fury is showing that he actually gonna get in the ring, well, then I'll buy a ticket then. But you're not finna, like, you know, they trying to hold people tickets and all of that shit. Like, that don't make no sense. Because me, truthfully, I don't see that. I can't see him getting in the ring. You know, and I'm pissed off because right now, right about now, we should be, you know, getting ready for the weigh-ins right now. We should be getting ready for the weigh-ins right now. I should be out in Vegas, you know, having a good time, getting ready for the weigh-ins with thousands and thousands of other people. But, you know, he ain't ready. He not ready. So he gets to choose when he gets ready. He gets to choose when he want to fight. But nobody's holding him to this. None of the main media are saying nothing about this shit. Everybody knows that Tyson Fury didn't have no COVID or no 19. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows he didn't have shit. But the main media is not holding him to the fire. He's contradicted himself. Bob Arum is contradicting himself. The whole team is fucked up. So why should I believe that he's going to come and get in the ring? Why? Why should I believe that he's going to get in the ring after doing all of the bullshit that he's already pulled? You know, and they're making it real difficult to give you your money back on the fight. So I want to know from y'all, do y'all think that the fight is going to happen, or do you think that Tyson Fury is going to find a way to, you know, pull out permanently this time? I mean, he has a history of doing it. He did it to Vladimir Klitschko, not on one occasion, but on two occasions, right? He did it to Wilder before already, because you forget the trilogy. I mean, the second Wilder fight with Wilder and Fury, it was supposed to take place earlier than it did. Then they made the excuse to pull out and have two fights in between and then make the fight. So I don't believe that dude. I don't believe none of that shit. Like, don't hold my money all the way up until October, because I don't think he's gonna get in the ring. I just don't. Stormy B, man, what's happening with it? He says it's not happening. I don't think so either, Stormy. I don't think so either. You know, he has a history of this. They want us, right? Everybody that bought tickets, right? Everybody that bought, I paid a lot of money for my ticket. Everybody that bought tickets, plane flights, hotel rooms, all of that, right? They want us to hold on to all of that, switch around our plans. Like, most people don't know what's going on in October. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go to the fight in October. You know, a lot of people got kids in the school. I have kids myself. A lot of people that were able to attend the event because it's the summer and everything. Now, October, the school is back in. Now you got to make those arrangements. Like, come on now. This ain't no game. You playing with people's lives and money and all of that. And then you playing with a virus that has killed millions of people. And you walking around here like it's a game. Oh, we'll just make some shit up. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I really don't see the fight happening. I can't see it. I can't see it happening right now. Right now, everybody that had tickets is supposed to be at the weigh-ins right now, with thousands of other fans getting hyped up. It's ridiculous. And who has COVID, right? Who has COVID? I want to know who has COVID. Because, you know, we saw him out. We know he don't got COVID. We know he had never had COVID, right? Now they changing their stories up. He changed his story. Bob Arum changed his story. Everybody changing their stories. Boss Doja Boxing Talk says, yes, it has to happen in the contract. In the contract, it says that, right? Right? The judge said that he has to fight him or retire. You think Fury give a damn? He's done it before, right? He retired before. All he got to do is retire for 6 months or a year and come right back. Everything is, all the smoke is clear, right? All the smoke is clear. Everybody going to blame it on he had mental health issues. The media going to stick behind him, right? They're going to go with whatever story he tells. They're not going to hold his feet to the fire for it. And it's going to be like nothing never happened. Deontay Wilder should have never fucking dug this goddamn big bitch out the grave. Wilder should have never gave him that chance. And, you know, when you be too nice sometimes, people shit on you. Wilder should have never gave him that chance. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker was buried alive, and and he brought the devil back to the surface. The devil was underground sleeping, and you brought the fucking devil back to the surface. Wilder should have never brought the devil back to the surface, but hey, he didn't know. He didn't know it was going to turn. I know he wishes he never had brought the devil back to the surface, right? He didn't know, you know. They say the devil comes in a disguise. And that's Tyson Fury. That's certainly Tyson Fury. And make sure that y'all hit my like button. Make sure that you hit the like button. Jay Real Live said he's gonna retire. Man, I think so too. Stormy B Man says this is now the chance for what Wilder stated to come true. Excuse me. He says the thief must pay back 7 times what he stole. And that is a fact, Stormy B Man. That is a fact. Like I keep telling people, he had a big rise, right? He got all of the fame, all of the glory. He got all of the praise from the media, the fans, everything, right? They gave him a statue. But you know what? His fall will be 20 times worse than his rise was. His fall will be horrible. And this will go down in the history books. His fall will be horrible, and it will go down in the history books. And right when it's all said and done, they're going to be talking about this for the next 50 years. It's going to be talked about for the next 50 years because everything going to explode. When shit hit the fan, shit going to really hit the fan with this in Tyson Fury. 718 Boxing B, what's happening with it? And y'all hit my like. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit my like button. Somebody else, and when he retires, right? When he retires, if Deontay Wilder don't have all of the belts by then, you know, I mean, you know how boxing is. Somebody will still give him a chance because he got a name, and he gonna come up with some extravagant story, and everybody gonna believe it again. Yeah, right. He gonna go down. C Wood, right? He gonna go down in history as a cheating bum. C Wood. He gonna go down in the history as a cheat. And everybody think that, oh, you Wilder fans and y'all are delusional and this and that. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. And they're gonna try to continue to cover up everything that he does. But when shit hit the fan, it's gonna really hit the fan. Todd Swindle says he'll use mental health to retire, come back. He'll use mental health to retire, come back in a year and try and fight AJ. And I was gonna say, well, that by that time AJ won't have the belt because he's gonna get knocked out by Wilder, but it's hard for me to see AJ fighting Wilder also. because maybe AJ might want to make that happen, but Eddie Hearn got a big part in that. Eddie Hearn don't want Wilder nowhere near AJ. Catman 785, what's happening with it? Salute. He says, I would be hot if my money got tied up like that. He said, I would be hot if my money got tied up like that. He said, Spence versus Pac getting announced is the only thing that saved me since I kept my bread for that. Yeah, man, I'm going to that fight. So this is the thing. I'm going to the Spence versus Manny Pacquiao fight. But they still got thousands of dollars of mine tied up in this Wilder and Fury shit. You know, I want that money back. And truthfully, I really want the money back. So when I go out to the Pac-Man and Errol Spence fight, you know, I'll have more money to put on Spence. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, with that Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao fight, I believe the Asian fans can travel. Even if they can't travel, there's a lot of Asians in the U.S. The Asian fans are going to be in the building heavy for Manny Pacquiao. And I'm going to tell y'all one thing about Asians. They got a lot of, if you ever gambled with an Asian at a roulette table, at a crap table, at a blackjack table, they got long bread. Like they money long. And so they're going to those betting lines. And those odds, when they start changing, they're going to change in favor of Manny Pacquiao. Now, he's not going to be a favorite, but I'm saying the odds are going to, you know, they're going to, when they start changing, they're going to go in the favor of Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, Spence is the betting favorite right now. I think he's like a negative 222 if you want. I'll look it up right now. Watch. I'll tell y'all what Spence is right now. I think he's like a negative 220 or 225 or something like that. Watch, hold on. I'll pull it. He's not a big favorite. Errol Spence is not a big favorite like he usually is against the other fighters. He was a much bigger favorite against Shawn Porter. He was a bigger favorite against Mikey Garcia. I think he's about the number with Errol Spence, right? Because he's been a big favorite. Well, not a huge favorite, but he's been a bigger favorite in most of his recent fights. But I think it's close. This fight is the odds are close to when Errol Spence fought Kell Brook. I think Kell Brook was like a negative 200 when Errol Spence was a negative 200, something like that when he fought Kell Brook. Yeah, he's only a negative 220. And Manny Pacquiao is a plus 165. So look for those odds to go down to maybe a negative 210 or a negative 200, 2-1. Catman 785 say he honestly sees Spence getting down to like a negative 150. He started at negative 450. Yeah, man. I don't know if a 150, but we gotta wait. We gotta wait and see fight week. You know, the day before the fight. I'll probably try to wait the day before the fight because, like I said, them Asian fans, they're gonna pile in and they're gonna put money on their man. You know, they believe in Manny Pacquiao. You know, which they should. So let me see. Catman 785 in that super chat showing love. He says, I would be hot. Oh, yeah, I read that one already. My bad. Let me see. Dwayne Freeman, salute. Leon Robinson, what's happening with it? Juan Ramos, what's happening with it? Salute. Jay Chestnut, what's happening with it? Mr. Reyes, J2, what's good with it? Yeah, Mr. Reyes, I know you a bet man. Who you putting your money on? Is you gonna bet on this fight, the Pacquiao Spence? And my man Kurt Anderson, the boxing historian, off in the building. Salute to you, Kurt. Stormy B Man says to rob, steal, and kill is the way of the devil. Right? Ain't nothing good about Tyson Fury, but hey, let them tell it. He the best thing that walked the earth. T-Real 713, what's happening with it? Eugene Carter, what's good with it? Sylvester 2011, what's happening with it? So yeah, uppercuts, boxing nation off in the building. What's good with it? Yeah, so man, I don't see this fight going down, but we got some other news I want to talk about before I really get to start cooking and I open up these phone lines for everybody to call in. Let me pull up these articles real quick. So one fight that we got going down in a few weeks, we got Guillermo Rigondeaux versus John Casimir, or however you say his name, the Asian, right? And he's in John Casimir, he talking slick. He's talking slick to my man Rigondeaux. He's telling Rigondeaux that, he told Rigondeaux that all your fights is boring. All you do is run in the ring. Make sure that you don't run and make sure that you stand and fight this time. Make sure that you stop running in the ring, because he says all your fights that I watch, he says you put everybody to sleep. Now, it's some truth in that and it's a lie in that also. But before I get into that, let me read this super chat. My man Lee Dre Stevens off in the building. He says Thurman versus Ugas seems like the no-brainer. He says Thurman wins and gets. He says, and we get the Spence versus Thurman if Spence don't get Crawford. Yeah, we gonna cook on that, man. And salute to you. Salute to you. And everybody in the building, hit my like button. Hit the like button. So John Casimir, I don't know how you say it, John Casimir, however you say his name, right? He says that, he talking shit to Rigondeaux. Now, the true part is, I ain't gonna lie. And, some of Rigondeaux's fights in the past, like, when Rigondeaux was kind of younger, I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep. Matter of fact, when Rigondeaux fought on the undercard of, I think it was the Tyson Fury and Klitschko fight, I ain't gonna lie, I was dozing off. I was dozing off in that fight. But Rigondeaux got skills. But, some of his fights was boring if but I mean, he got all the skills in the world. If you love to see a technician in the ring, that Rigondeaux was that, Now, what is a lie is that John Casimir, he's trying to act like that Rigondeaux still fights that way. You haven't seen Rigondeaux run or move around in the ring and fight the hit and not be hit style in a long time. Rigondeaux gonna stand right in front of you and he's gonna bang. And that's what's gonna make this a hell of a fight, because Rigondeaux don't fight the same no more. He don't have his legs under him no more. He's a lot older now. Renee Box Young, what's happening with it? So Rigondeaux is going to trade. Somebody is going to sleep in this fight. I don't know why John Casimir, why he's trying to act like that Rigondeaux still has the same style that he used to at one point in time. And it makes me wonder, is he studying Rigondeaux's last 4 or 5 fights? Is he really studying Rigondeaux? Because Rigondeaux hasn't fought like that in a long time. The first, I'm going to keep it 100. The first fight that I really noticed that Rigondeaux, like, he didn't move like he used to, was probably I think 2000 and shit. We can go back to the Lomachenko fight. He didn't move like that in the Lomachenko fight. If you really think about it, that's why Lomachenko was able to have easy success against Rigondeaux. He wasn't moving. He was standing right there in front of Lomachenko. So Rigondeaux hasn't used his legs in a long time. So since probably 2016. And everybody go show some love and subscribe to Stormy B Man. Go show him some love and sub to his channel. If you want to get some real knowledge, go sub to Stormy B Man. Also go sub to my man Renee Box Young. He's in the building. Go sub to his channel also. And when you sub to their channel, when you tune in, make sure that you hit that like button. And if you haven't hit my like button, make sure that you hit my like button. And Young Merv, the cut man, what's happening with it off in the building? Young Merv say he stopped moving his feet like that and moving a lot even before Lomachenko. And you probably right. But see, I can remember the Lomachenko and then past that. He stopped moving. So he don't fight the same. So if John Casimiro, if he wants to fight a toe-to-toe fight, that's what he's gonna get. And don't because everybody say that Rigondeaux likes to move and all that. Don't get it twisted. That little ugly motherfucker got some power. He got a whole lot of power. And he's mean. Because I met him. I've met him in real life. And he don't want you to talk to him. He don't want you to say shit to him. Rigondeaux is mean. Little dude is mean as hell. But yeah, he got power. So it's going to be a hell of a fight. I love that fight. I love that fight. Let me see what the odds are on that fight if they have that fight up. I want to look because I got let me see what the betting odds on Rigondeaux versus John Casimiro. I think you said yeah, John Casimiro. That's how you say it. I had to look at the spelling of it. Good looking out, Renee Young. I had to look at the spelling of it. Let me see if he on here. Let me see. Let me see. They don't have it on here. I don't know why. They don't have the Rigondeaux and John Casimiro on here. Let me see. When is that fight going down? I don't even know the fight date. I know it's coming up in a few weeks, though. Hold on. Let me pull it up. We see when that fight is happening. That fight is going down on the 14th. So what? Yeah, August the 14th, that fight is going down. So I'm looking forward to that fight. That's going to be a hell of a fight. Salute to you, Sheena, off in the building, the queen. Salute to you, Sheena. John Kramer, what's happening with it? Salute. So that's going to be a hell of a fight. But like I said, if John think that Rigondeaux is going to run, he got another thing coming. You know what I'm saying? And Rigondeaux got that. He got popped too. And I think Gary, I think you know who, I think that Gary Antonio Russell is fighting too. I think that Gary Antonio Russell is fighting on one of these cards coming up. I know he is. And I can't wait to see Gary Antoine Russell in the ring. He said Gary Antoine Russell, he says Rolly should fight him. Man, Rolly will get his ass toe out the frame. He'll get his ass toe up. Straight up and down. Rolly don't want no parts of him. He might think he do. He don't want no parts. And y'all hit my like button. Y'all hit the like button. Let me see. What else we got going on? Hold on. Tomorrow we got the Joe Joyce and we got Joe Joyce and we got my man Carlos Takam. You know, I see Joe Joyce, you know, knocking his ass out, getting him up out of there, like I said yesterday. And what else we got? What else we got going on this weekend? I don't think it's really too much going on this weekend, you know. I don't think it's too much going on this weekend, you know. That's pretty much the only fight that I really know about this weekend. But let's talk about, you know, what I really want to cook on. Let's get into it. Let's really cook. You know, we've been in here 30 minutes and it's time to get the cooking started. Now, you got Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford. That fight was just ordered. Now, I told y'all yesterday that Terence Crawford, he's going to have some decisions to make. He got a lot of decisions to make. Terence Crawford is in a very sticky situation because Terence Crawford now, he can choose, right? Oh, Kurt Anderson says Showbox is on tonight. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna have to see who fighting on that card. I didn't know that. And salute once again to Kurt. I know Kurt gonna be on it. Now, Terence Crawford is in a very sticky situation because we know that Terence Crawford still owes Bob Arum one more fight. We also know now that Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford fight has been ordered by the WBO, right? Now, we know from the past talks of Bob Arum, he's not going to pay for Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford. He says that it ain't worth it. He don't see it selling big numbers, right? He's not going to come out of his pockets and pay for it. So what does that mean? Well, that means that the fight will have to go to purse bid. And if Bob Arum is not going to be willing to bid $1 million or $2 million, no more than that, he's not going to be, you know what I'm saying? He's not willing to bid no more than $1 million or $2 million because he already said that he wasn't going to pay Shawn Porter no more than $1 million, right? So we pretty much know that Bob Arum is not going to bid on the fight. He knows that he's not going to make a winning bid on the fight. He's going to bid on it, but he's going to bid low, right? So PBC is going to pick that fight up. Terence Crawford will have to fight on PBC. But with that being said, like I told y'all yesterday, if he goes and defends his title against Shawn Porter on PBC, on the PBC platform, well, yeah, Bob Arum, he still gets his cut. He probably, you know, he gets a percentage of that, but you still owe Bob Arum one more fight on the ESPN Top Rank platform. So, right, you're still going to owe Bob Arum, right? So say this fight takes place in October, September, whenever the Shawn Porter fight and Terence Crawford fight take place, if Shawn Porter decides to defend his title and not drop his title, right? Because he got a choice to make. Because we're hearing, right? We're hearing that he wants to leave Top Rank. We're hearing that he's pretty much done with Top Rank. We ain't heard it from him, but we heard it from his people, right? People that's close to Terence Crawford is saying that he's leaving. He pretty much done, right? So with that being said, do you want to be done with Top Rank immediately? That means, you know, fight Jose Zepeda in October like Bob Arum had planned for you before he came up with this, you know. I think Bob Arum got a lot to do with this WBO sanctioning, ordering this bout. Bob Arum know that he's putting Terence Crawford in the pickle. He knows that. That's why he went and hollered at the WBO, hey, go ahead and mandate that. Because if y'all remember, at one point, Shawn Porter had been moved to number 2. Shawn Porter was Terence Crawford's mandatory, right? He was Terence Crawford's mandatory. It was talks about it. Terence Crawford was acting like he didn't want to fight. Matter of fact, he didn't want to fight Shawn Porter. Because he was pretty much saying it, right? He was getting aggravated when Shawn Porter was calling him out, right? So Shawn Porter was the mandatory, and then all of a sudden, Shawn Porter moves in the number 2 slot. He wasn't the mandatory no more. Did y'all forget about that? They moved Shawn Porter out of the mandatory position once they realized that Bob Arum and Terence Crawford and them wasn't going to make the fight happen. They moved Terence Crawford, right? And everybody knows that Bob Arum has the WBO wrapped around his finger. How do you think at that point in time, when they thought that they were going to get a Manny Pacquiao fight with Terence Crawford, how they are all of a sudden able to move Shawn Porter out of the number 1 ranking position, the mandatory position, right? Because Bob Arum has the WBO wrapped around his finger. He told y'all, he said it on Fred's channel. He said, look, I have a very good relationship with the WBO. He says, yeah, we've been working together for a long time and we have a very good working relationship. Everybody knows the WBO basically is fucking, they should have Top Rank behind their name, WBO Top Rank, because that's just what it is, right? So with that being said, like I said, I think that Bob Arum has a lot to do with this, because once he seen that, okay, you know, now we don't got the Manny Pacquiao fight on the table. Now Terence Crawford is about to leave, and the only fight that I really can put up for him is Jose Zepeda. And I know that Jose Zepeda can't fucking make the fight last 12 rounds so we can rob him. He's going to knock out Jose Zepeda out. And then he's going to leave with that belt. Bob Arum said, no, 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 no. Won't y'all go ahead and move Shawn Porter back up to the #1 slot in order that fight? Because once they move Shawn Porter back to the #1 slot, it's been so long, right? The time in between, because he was #1 before, they moved him back. Now they have to order the fight. They got to make it happen because they have to. Terence Crawford ain't fought a mandatory since he fought Kavaliauskas. It's time again. He got to fight another mandatory, right? #1 slot. Bob Arum did that because Bob Arum knows I'm going to put him in the pickle and I'm going to make him have to choose. He's either going to go defend his title. I'm going to get paid from him defending his title over there on the PBC platform because he's going to leave anyway, right? And then when he comes back over here, his contract is going to be extended out a little longer because he still owes me another fight. So if he don't want to do no business with my company no more, well, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can come over here, but he going to have to drop that belt. And like I said yesterday, when he drops the belt, if he drops the belt and fights Jose Zepeda, right? If he drops the belt, well, then Shawn Porter will end up having to fight another top-ranked fighter. He's going to end up having to fight another top-ranked fighter because Bob Arum has the WBO wrapped around his finger. And I'm gonna read some of the comments, and now I'm gonna put the call-in line up so y'all can call in. I'm gonna put it in so y'all can call in, and I want to hear y'all take on this situation. And then we're gonna get into Keith Thurman and Ugas, and you know, the other guys in the welterweight division, the other hitters in the welterweight division. So there's a call-in number right there. You can call in. Now let me read what y'all talking about in the comment section too. Let me see. Renee Bashan says, "Oh wow, if Bud versus Porter go to purse bid after that, Bud will still owe Top Rank. I didn't know that. Wow. Well, yeah, he still owe Top Rank another fight. That's why, you know, that's why Bob Arum, right? That's why Bob Arum was pretty much trying to string it out until October. You know, Gummy Funny says he has to take this fight or they're gonna duck him to death. Gummy Funny. Okay. You say you have Bud Crawford winning easily against Shawn Porter? Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that. See who we got. Let me see who we got. Let me see. What's good, caller? Where you calling from and what's your name?
What's good, Keon? 817. What's going on?
What's happening with it? 817 in the building.
What's going down, man? I'm on the road, so I apologize if it don't sound great.
Can y'all let me make sure they can hear you. Let me make sure they can hear you. Can y'all hear him good? Let me see. Can y'all let me know if y'all can hear him good? Let me know. Put a yes if y'all can hear him. But you go ahead and cook. You go ahead and cook.
For sure, fam. It's the trip that the rubber meeting the road. We all knew that this is coming for Bud, though. We all knew that this was coming sooner or later. Because Top Rank was gonna run out of opponents for him at 147. So it's dope. I don't know if it's Bob's doing. I don't know if it's the WBO, whatever, but it's dope that he finally having to fight somebody. But I still don't think that this will fully validate him. I think, this validation gonna come with Earl, man. He ain't gonna get the full credit he deserves until he man up and step in that ring and face man down. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that?
Man, I feel what you're saying, but to me, if he can go out there and beat Shawn Porter, if he can beat Shawn Porter, it don't have to be comfortable. He don't got to beat him by a wide margin or nothing to me. If you can go, anybody that can beat Shawn Porter, that's going to validate him to me, because now we found, because.
But Keon, real quick, if he, let's say he fights Shawn and he beats Shawn, let's say he knock out Shawn, but let's say, he used that and he don't never fight Earl. You know what I'm saying? His career still ain't, what we expect to be, because we all want to see that fight. Am I right?
Yeah, of course, we all want to see that fight. But see, let's run back to what you said. If he knocks out Shawn Porter, which I don't see happening, right? He knock out Shawn Porter, to me, he definitely the number one pound for pound over Earl Spence and all of them. Because you went in there and you stopped a guy that has never been knocked out before, right? Now, if you go in there and you knock out Shawn Porter, everything that he's done in his career, all them other guys, that makes that look a whole lot better, 718, because you knocked out Shawn Porter now. So all of that shit that they were saying, that Crawford is this and that, now we get to really sit back and say, this motherfucker is on another level, because he just did everything that he did in the past. He knocked all them other dudes out, right? And then he knocked out Shawn Porter. Oh, yeah, I got to give it to him. You knock out Shawn Porter, that's saying something. A lot.
Knocked out in his career.
Not even close to being knocked out.
The will look good. But on the other end, too, Shawn really got to come with it, because this is last fight. This is last big fight. Any other fight, he's going to be a gatekeeper type shit. It's going to be some type of prospect, like I was saying yesterday, with Ortiz now. But, this is what you get for fucking around with a snake like Bob, though. You know what I'm saying? You get put in compromising positions like these after he has promoted you. I don't see how Shawn Porter and Bud couldn't make money with ESPN if they was fully backing him. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford face should be plastered everywhere.
Oh yeah, he should. But we all seen how Top Rank does their promotions with. We seen what they do with black fighters. They don't promote them well.
But we see it, but how the hell you go back and re-sign? That's beyond me. We see, man, the rubber meet the road for these cats, man. All roads lead back to PBC for all these dudes, for Canelo, for Fury.
You know why you re-signed? You know why he re-signed? Because he has Bomac doing his business for him. You got your trainer doing your business for you. Bomac has an invested interest for himself, because Bomac have his other fighters on Top Rank. Also, he does commentary on Top Rank. So him getting Crawford to resign back then, Bomac had interest for himself. You think Bomac? Come on, man. I don't even want to get into that, but I think that Bomac had a lot to do with talking him into it.
And ain't nobody talking about it, but Bomac on the losing streak, fam. Rob Brant got his ass whooped. Hooker got his ass whooped. He was supposed to fix Mo. Mo out my city. He was supposed to fix Mo. He got his ass whooped. Shakur's gonna fight Jamel Herring, right? They ain't announced it or whatever, but that's supposed to be coming down the pipe, right?
Right.
So do anybody?
That's an L.
That's an L, because Jamel not beating Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Bud gonna fight Shawn. Say, man, all that talk Bomac talking about or whatever, all that love y'all been giving and all that shit, I say, the rubber meet the road for these motherfuckers, man. That's what it is.
Hey, but I
appreciate the time, bro.
For sure, man. 718. I'll holler at you. Appreciate you.
For sure.
Yeah, but hold on. So I think that's a big part. Bomac was a big part of Crawford re-signing. That was a big part. But at the end of the day, man, if Terence Crawford goes out there, and to me, this is for me, I can't speak for nobody else. If he goes out there and knocks out Shawn Porter, or he beats Shawn Porter by a landslide, you got to put him number one. You got to put him back at the number one slot, because that's going to show a lot to me, and that's going to validate everything that he's done in his career. It's going to show like, okay, well, he just on a whole nother level, because none of these other fighters, they could do that to Shawn Porter. It's a difference when you come and you do it to a fighter like Kell Brook, that's obviously washed up. You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook is not the same. But when you go and you do it to a fighter like Shawn Porter, that is still in his prime, that gives everybody hell, now it's like, okay, yeah, you there. Now you there. You are what they say you are. But like I said, I think that him and Shawn Porter is going to be a close tooth and nail fight if they fight. And you got to prove me wrong. They got to get in the ring, and he got to prove me wrong and show me he can walk through Shawn Porter, because I never seen nobody do it before. And I don't think that Terence Crawford is going to do it. Like I said, I might have him edging out a victory. I got him winning a very close victory, but I don't see him beating Shawn Porter by a landslide. Not at all. Catman785, he says he KO Shawn, he can really call himself a monster. And that is a fact. If he KO Shawn, man, it's going to do. He could talk that shit. If he KO Shawn, he could talk that shit. He could talk it more than Errol Spence. He could talk the shit more than Keith Thurman, Ugas, all them dudes. Because he did something that none of them dudes could do. But can he do that? I don't think so. And I'll be willing to bet money that he's not going to KO Shawn Porter. He's not stopping Shawn Porter. So y'all that think he going to stop Shawn Porter, y'all better forget about that happening. Tell you, it ain't going to happen. World Combat Sports says Joe George versus Carlos Takam 12-round WBC eliminator. Chris Jenkins versus Usman versus Usman. I think that's how you said. 12 rounds for Jenkins Commonwealth welterweight title and Jenkins British welterweight title. Yeah, man, it ain't no fights that I'm really too thrilled about, man. I'll watch them, if I don't have nothing else to do, but I ain't too thrilled about them fights. But yeah, they giving us something this weekend. It's something. Johnny Diaz says very competitive fight, but Porter do get dropped in the last round. Crawford can capitalize it and maybe finish him, but before that, will be so close. I mean, even if you drop Porter, even when we seen Porter get dropped twice, he was never hurt at all. Neither time. It was flash knockdowns, and he recovered before he even he recovered so fast, like he was never hurt like that. It's the difference between getting dropped and getting hurt. Big difference. Sugar Ray Robinson says Crawford is a coward. He's scared of Spence. I ain't gonna say all of that, man. I'm not gonna go that far on that, man. I don't think that Crawford is scared of Spence. I don't think that Errol Spence is scared of Crawford. But was Crawford getting comfortable with fighting the level of competition that they was putting him in with, where he was getting comfortable paydays? That might have been the case, but I ain't gonna call the man no coward and say that he was scared. He says Spence beats all the best welterweights while Crawford beats bus drivers. Yeah, Spence is beating all the best welterweights. Sheena, she says, do you think that Bud deserves 50-50 split versus Spence if he beats Porter? No, because you still beating a man that he already beat. I think that if he goes and beats Porter, you can give him 60-40. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how he beats Porter. Now, if he barely edges split decision out, people might be calling a run back with Shawn Porter. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But if he beats Porter and he beats Porter to where everybody say, yeah, he beat Shawn Porter, you know what I'm saying? 8-4, 9-3, whatever it may be, right? If he does that, I think that he has an argument for 60-40, but really it's still really a 70-30 fight at that point in time. You see what I'm saying? It's still really a 70-30, but I wouldn't have no problem with 60-40. But a 50-50, hell no. Nah. 50-50, hell no. Nah. What's good with it? My man, play a seat. My man Courtney off in the building. What's good with it, Courtney? Make sure that y'all go subscribe to the Courtney Joe Buffer Show. He gonna be giving y'all a whole bunch of content on his channel. And if y'all want some entertainment, make sure that y'all go sub to his channel. And you know what I'm saying? The man was on Maury 2 times. He was on Maury. He was on the Maury Povich show back in the day twice. So make sure that y'all go check that out too. He was acting the fool up on that panel. Let me see what else y'all talking about. Salute, CB Sports TV off in the building. What's good with it? How's the newborn? How's the baby doing? Let me see. You say Kell Brook beat Shawn Porter. Yeah, he beat Shawn Porter. But everybody that fought Shawn Porter, they had a tough fight with that man. You feel what I'm saying? Sheena says rematch clause. You think that? Nah, I don't think it'll be a rematch clause because it's a fight that the sanctioning body is ordering. So I don't think it'll be a rematch clause of Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford fight. But I'm saying if it's a very close fight, the fans is gonna be hollering for a rematch. What's good with it? Money Brown TV off in the building. What's happening with it? The big stepper. He says salute to my brother. He says stop by. He says had to stop by. Smash the like button. He doing that homework. Money Brown. He got homework due tonight. He on that time right now. You know what I'm saying? The clock is ticking. You know, but yeah, get in that work, man. Get in that work, Money Brown. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and ace that thing. But so now with all of that being said, right? If Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter fight each other, right? That leaves Ugas and Keith Thurman. They still out there looking for a fight because we all know that Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter, that was the fight that had been talked about. That was the fight that had been talked about that, people were saying that they might have been in negotiations, early talks to try to make Shawn Porter and Keith Thurman. But now everything has taken a twist. You see, now everything has taken a twist. Another turn in the road of the, 147-pound division. Now what happens? What goes on now with Ugas and Thurman? Now that we know that Thurman and Shawn Porter talks are off the table, those talks are not on the table no more. So who does Keith Thurman fight next? Who does Ugas fight next? Now we know that Ugas was supposed to be and maybe still supposed to be on the Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao undercard. But from what I know, they don't have, let me look real quick. From what I know, they don't have an opponent for Ugas yet. Let me pull Ugas box rec up. Because the last time I checked, they don't have an opponent for him yet. Let's pull it up. Let me see who they got him. So they have him still on BoxRec. He's still down to fight on August the 21st, but they still don't have an opponent for him, right? They still ain't got no opponent for him. So this is my thing. You fighting in less than a month. They have you on the fight card in less than a month. You are a world champion, right? Because they elevated you back to the super champion. So you are the WBA super champion, Ugas. Why don't they have an opponent for him yet? Wouldn't they have an opponent for him and the fight is less than a month out? And we know how boxing does. They could take him off that card because they still ain't announced. I don't even think they really announced the undercard for that fight. They got it on BoxRec, but they ain't never announced the undercard for the Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. They didn't announce the undercard yet, from what I know. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know that I'm wrong. Did they announce the fights that's going to be on the undercard for Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao yet? Because if they did, I missed it. So they can take Ugas off of the card all the way, especially if he ain't got no opponent. And they know if they take him off and put him and Keith Thurman on a separate card, right? They know if they take him off and put him and Keith Thurman on the separate card, the fans ain't gonna get mad because all we're gonna see is, damn, that's a hell of a fight. Could it be next? Could we be seeing all of the smoke at 147? Because if we already get an Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao, bam. Then if we get Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford, that's another hell of a fight, right? Then we already know we getting Virgil Ortiz against Ugas Kavaliauskas. That's another hell of a fight. And all they got to do is come and top that off with Thurman and Ugas. Everybody at 147 getting some smoke. We got Boots Ennis. He getting ready to announce who he gonna fight next. I don't know who that's gonna be, but man, that 147-pound division is heating up. It's heating up. We got Errol Spence on his way out the door, and we got Jerron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz making their way into the top contender status. It only get better. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. And make sure that y'all hit my like button. Smash on the like button because it don't cost you a thing to do it. Smash on the like button. R. West says, I haven't heard the undercard. Yeah, I haven't think. Yeah, see, ain't nobody heard the undercard. Jay Smith says, I won't be surprised if Ugas fight Mikey Garcia. Nah, they're talking about Mikey Garcia in Regis Prograis. So Ugas is not fighting Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia in Regis Prograis is probably going to be the next fight. Yeah, Thurman versus Ugas is a great fight, man. It's a great fight. And I think Ugas is the perfect opponent for Keith Thurman because Ugas, he doesn't possess crazy knockout power. Let me see who this calling. Let me see them. What's good? What you calling? Where you calling from? And what's your name?
What's up, bro? This is Malcolm.
What's happening with it?
Man, cold, man. This is my first time watching your show. I seen the number, so I had to call in. You talking good stuff.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man, for tuning in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, let me just go ahead and get into it. I just wanted to back up your point. You were talking about how 147 is heating up, man. There's so many good matchups. I mean, man, this is a great time for the 42nd division, and finally, it seems like fighters aren't really running from each other. You know, we usually had a problems between PBC and Top Rank, but it's looking pretty promising. And yeah, man, I just wanted to say appreciate the show. I will be tuning in more, and I'm gonna let you get to some more people.
I appreciate you, caller. I appreciate you. Salute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got, that's a fight we could get. Like I said, in 305 Grant. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Respect, much respect. That's a fight we could get. We could get Ugas and Keith Thurman. And like I was saying, man, Keith Thurman and Ugas is a great fight, and that's a great fight for Keith Thurman because we all know that Keith Thurman say that he don't want no easy touch. He say that he wanted to jump right back in the mix because he's feeling great. He's not injured no more. And what better opponent for Keith Thurman is Ugas? He's a champion. He has somewhat of a name. All the diehard boxing fans know who Ugas is, so he got a name, right? He's fought on pay-per-view before on the undercard. So that's a great opponent for Keith Thurman. And hold on. Let me see. What's good with you, caller? Now I'm gonna get your name. Let me finish this point I was making real quick. Okay. So what I'm saying is that it's a great opponent for Keith Thurman because of the fact is that Keith Thurman, he don't have to worry about fighting somebody with devastating power. You feel what I'm saying? He don't have to worry about going in there with somebody like Manny Pacquiao and getting hurt. Now, Ugas can go to the body. Ugas, he know how to go to the body and he do it very well. But as far as everything else, Ugas, he doesn't possess knockout power like that. So Keith Thurman, you know, he pretty much is safe in the Ugas fight. He pretty much is safe in the Ugas fight, and it's a great stylistic matchup also. So, caller, where you calling from, and what's your name?
I'm calling from the land of Floyd Mayweather, 616 Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
I think they should just go ahead and just do that whole tournament type thing. That'd be one blockbuster pay-per-view event right there, because it settles everything real fast going into the next year. You know, if you got the winner of the Crawford. See, my thing is, I don't know if Crawford gonna win and he gonna go and fight somebody else that's gonna want to go into a fight with Earl Spence. So I'm kind of almost wanting one of those other people to come out of that situation. I know it's gonna want to go ahead on and unify, because they don't keep on. The WBO will have to keep on doing the same thing to Terence Crawford, because he won't come off the porch like that kid that got to be snatched off the porch to go fight somebody for real. You know what I
mean? Yeah. So, I mean, this is the thing, right? If Ugas and Keith Thurman fight, that's cool, but Errol Spence is adamant that he leaving if he can't get a Terence Crawford fight. So it leaves.
I believe that he is safe for that right then and there, because I do believe he do care about what people say about the fight gang. So now this man done redeemed himself and he done went and got that belt. You say he wanted to unify. This man got something that you want. So now it's a purpose for you to fight this man. It ain't before, without no belt, it ain't no reason to fight Thurman. But if Thurman go and take that belt to scrap from Ugas, yeah, now it comes a situation where it can go down. You know what I'm saying? So if Terence Crawford wants to still stay on the fence, then I push the bar. I would have Boots pressure him till they get to a fight, and I go ahead on and I fight Thurman, and then the Boots and the winner of Boots. If I believe Boots will beat Crawford, I believe he'll beat him. So it'll be the winner of Thurman and Spence versus Boots, and then that's how he can walk off into the light.
And I feel you, man. I like that a lot, especially if Thurman wins, because Errol Spence, he said he ain't fighting Thurman, but you got a point. If Thurman come up with that super belt, right, it makes that fight a lot more lucrative. Now, in order for that to take place, in order for Errol Spence to say, look, I'll fight 2 more fights and then I'll move up, right? In order for that to happen, is they have to make Keith Thurman and Ugas right away, like within the next couple months. They got to make that.
The next couple weeks, you mean?
Well, no. I'm saying that fight, that Keith Thurman and Ugas, that fight will have to take place between now. I mean, between August and late August, September. It can't take place no later than late September, right? Because in order for that to take place, then Errol Spence would have to have a 3rd fight this year. He'll have to get another fight, and that will be, Keith Thurman. That'll be at the end of the year. That'll be a big fight. And then he could, stay at the weight division, and he could fight Terence Crawford early on in the year, and then he'll move on. Because he's making it adamant that he not staying around 147. He says if he can't get a fight, because we got to think, they only fight twice a year, if that. So he's looking at it like, I think Errol Spence is looking at it like, look, I'm going to fight Pacquiao. They going to put me on the shelf until 2022, right? So I might as well just go and see what I can do with Bud And if I can't make a fight with Bud, I'm gonna move up because the time is too long. The time frames is too long. But if he can get a third fight this year and it could somehow beat Keith Thurman and Ugas, I think he'll stay. And then he'll, call out Bud, at the beginning of the year, and then make that fight.
At 154, outside of him going against his stablemate, what other fight is going to be as lucrative as the build-up that could be that of Thurman and that of Terence Crawford? I don't think it's a bigger fight for him at 154 where it's going to be money generating wise. So if the money plan seemed like that'd be the thing, because that steam that him and Thurman got against each other, that's going to be a tremendous build-up and highly anticipated. Him and Crawford, that's going to be what fight at 154 is going to garner that same type of money.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, dog. I've been wanting to see. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people like, nah, we don't want to see it. I want to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. I want to see Errol Spence run through Keith Thurman. I want to see that fight. I always want to see it, and I'm always gonna want to see it until it happens. I want to see that fight, and especially if Keith Thurman can come back and show that he still got it. We don't know what Keith Thurman gonna look like. We ain't really seeing Keith Thurman healthy in years. The last two fights he came back, we know that he wasn't healthy. He had surgery right after that shit. So at the end of the day, I want to see it, but we got to see if Errol Spence is sticking to what he said he was gonna do. We won't see it. But Al Heyman.
He say he a man of his word, right? But the first thing he remember him saying was this right here. He said he want to unify. He gonna unify. So I'm willing to believe that if Thurman go get that strap from him, then it's gonna put the weight of the world back on his shoulders to do that. And I think he'll probably enjoy whooping on Porter anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a Porter. I think he enjoy whooping on Thurman anyway, just due to the fact that he got that grudge. You know what I'm saying? I think he enjoyed whooping on Thurman.
But he should enjoy it if he don't like the man.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But I want to see it. I like the welterweight division moving in that direction. So yeah. Yes, sir.
And the thing is, it's just like this. They need to figure out what Boots is really for real right now. You know what I'm saying? Because in the next 2 years, ain't none of them going to want to stick around for that. So he do want to hurry up and get this wrapped up so he can get on about the way. Because I can see him and Boots fighting at 160 later on down the line. But like right now, it'd be a little bit too. I think they might be a little bit too experienced for him. But 2 years from now, if you still stick around that way, you want to hurry up and do what you got to do right now to hurry up and get up out the way before his come. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I enjoyed your time talking with you. I'm subscribed. I'm on. Love you, dude. Take care.
Appreciate you. Much love.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Boots is coming. Hey, Boots is coming. Boots is coming, and he coming fast too. I'm telling y'all. And don't sleep on Virgil Ortiz, because if Virgil Ortiz come out here and he knock out Eves Kavaliauskas and do it in greater fashion than what Terence Crawford did, they gonna have to see him too. Somebody gonna have to see him. Uppercuts Boxing Nation off in that super chat. Salute to you, always coming through showing love. And make sure that y'all go sub to Uppercuts Boxing Nation on Facebook. He got a Facebook boxing group. Go make sure that y'all go sub to his Facebook boxing group, Uppercuts Boxing Nation. And he say, Keon, what's your take on fans who are blaming Heyman if Crawford versus Shawn doesn't happen? I mean, that's, to me, if they blame Al Heyman if the fight don't happen, would just be ignorant. Because the only way that fight doesn't happen is if Terence Crawford relinquishes his title and ends up fighting Jose Zepeda on Top Rank. That's the only way that don't happen. So I don't know how they could blame Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? It would be pretty much impossible for them to blame Al Heyman, but we know how boxing fans move. You can't say nothing is impossible with some of these fans. They'll come up with any type of story. And salute to you once again, Uppercuts. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. What's good with it? Batman off in the building. What's happening with it? So you really can't blame. You wouldn't even be able to blame nobody. It's Terence Crawford gonna have a hard choice to make at the end of the day. But I like what I like what the brother was saying about um Errol Spence and Keith Thurman happening. If Keith Thurman could get this fight with Ugas next, and then at the end of the year you could have Errol Spence and Keith Thurman for unification, and then at the beginning of the year, if Terence Crawford, but it's all messed up, right? The Crawford situation is messed up because if he's in the pickle like I think he is, and Crawford doesn't drop the title and he goes to fight Shawn Porter, like I said, he's still probably gonna owe Top Rank another fight. And we don't know how long Bob Arum will screen that shit out. We don't know how long Bob Arum might screen that out. Because from what I knew is that he owed one more fight to Top Rank, right? And then his contract would be ended and they were going to have that fight in October. You have a fight on PBC, that's not Top Rank. I don't know. Hopefully in the next week or two at the most, we'll have a lot more clarity on this whole situation. Because it's a crazy situation. But to me, this whole situation is making it more difficult to get an undisputed. And we see how hard it is to get undisputed. Look at 154 now. They already on Jermell Charlo helmet. They already ordering that he got to fight some Russian dude that we ain't never heard of. They make it very difficult to make undisputed. But do y'all see Keith Thurman and Ugas being made next? Do y'all see that fight maybe get made next? Let me in the comment section, let me know. Everybody in the comments, let me know. Yes or no. Do y'all see Ugas and Keith Thurman happening next? Yes, he would. It's supposed to be one more fight and bye Bob, but how long will Bob screen that out? I mean, shit. Even if he make Terence Crawford wait, he can make him wait until somewhere next year, man. We seen what he did to him this year. Terence Crawford ain't fought since November. When he get in the ring, it's gonna be damn near a year since he had been in the ring. Dwayne Freeman says, yeah, he see that fight happening next. Cole Smith said he don't. Texas made realist, he say he don't see that fight happening next. Jesus is Lord of Lords say he don't see that fight happening next. Maccabee Chirac say he don't see that fight happening next. Sheena, what's that supposed to mean? You don't know? Wilson say definitely think Ugas and Thurman happens. Wendell Jackson says, I think Thurman versus Ugas happens. Now, if it does happen next, right? How soon can it happen? Because we know Todd Swindle said he see it happening next, right? Now, this is my question, right? Say it does happen next. How soon can it happen? Because we know that Ugas has already been slated to fight on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao in Errol Spence. I don't know if Ugas is in camp. I know that Keith Thurman is training, but we just saw Keith Thurman on the show with the Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, the press conference show that they did, right, on Fox. The press conference that they did on Fox, we saw Keith Thurman on there, and Keith Thurman looked big to me. So can Keith Thurman fight in a month? Can he fight in a month? I don't see Keith Thurman being able to get in the ring and fight for a title that fast because he's not in shape like that. To me, he's still big. You got to have a whole training camp. I haven't heard nothing. I've seen Keith Thurman training, but is he in training camp? I don't know. He could be in training camp behind the scenes. We don't even know if Ugas is in training camp. We haven't seen him in training camp, but he could be in training camp. Could these guys both be in training camp? If they are, then we can make it happen soon. But if they're not in training camp, we won't see this fight until late September, October. So, and then if they don't fight until October, let me see, November, December, we won't get no Errol Spence against neither one of them dudes until next year if he decides to hold off going up to 154. And check this out, though. Check this out. Jermell Charlo, he has 3 belts at 154. Jermell Charlo has recently took back his statement on saying that when Errol Spence moves up to 154, he's going to move up to 160. He took that back recently because he says he's not going to move up to 160 because, that's going to conflict with what his brother got going on. So what does Errol Spence do? Because Errol Spence says that he going to Crawford immediately. If Crawford don't want it, he's immediately moving up to 154, and he's immediately going up to get a strap at 154. So what does he do now? If Jermell Charlo is saying, nah, I'm not ready to move up to 160 because my brother's still at 160. I ain't moving up. I'm good right here. It's only 2 fighters that Errol Spence can face for a belt right now, as we see it, and probably going to stay that way. Because I don't see nobody beating Jermell Charlo but Brian Castano, and I don't see nobody beating Brian Castano in the near future but Jermell Charlo at 154. So we got a problem. We got a problem. Will that force Errol Spence to stay down at 147 for longer than he wants to? He got a nutritionist. He should be making the weight a lot more easier. We know he's making the weight easier now because we see he's been walking around slim for a long time. He never gained weight since he fought Danny Garcia. He kept his weight at in the 150s ever since he fought Danny Garcia. So I know that he's making the weight a lot easier. I don't know. It's a situation when you think about the whole triangle, the whole triangle circle that they have going on at 147. It's a sticky situation because a lot of these guys got decisions to make. Terence Crawford, he got big decisions to make. They got him in a pickle, right? Errol Spence, he got big decisions to make. They got him in the pickle now. What is he going to do? Is he going to wait around or is he going to move up? If Keith Thurman is in his face, the guy that he said that he not going to ever fight, does Al Haymon holler at Errol Spence and say, look, man, we want you to make this fight for the PBC. Like, can you do that for us? And I'm pretty sure if Al Haymon holler at Errol Spence, he'll do it for Al. They got a good relationship. Fuck it. It's going to bring in big money. We'll do it. It's a lot of decisions to be made. Let me see what y'all talking about on the in the chat. Cole Smith says Crawford Spence 2022 if Errol can stay at 147 that long. Yeah, I mean, I agree. If he can, it's a big if. Todd Swindle says October time frame or early November. Yeah, but that pushes any fight with Errol Spence out to 2022. Wendell Jackson says as much as one-time talk, you would think he's in shape. Being in shape, Wendell, and being in fight shape, that's a different story. To me, his weight doesn't look down to me. But I could be wrong. I don't know. When I saw him, his weight didn't look down. Not to be able to go and fight in August against Ugas that's already slated to fight on the Errol Spence card. But I'm not going to be surprised if they move Ugas. If they have a bigger fight for Ugas, they just going to move him up off of that Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao card. They're going to move him off that card. And Ugas and Thurman, that fight is too big to put on the undercard of Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. I think that fight's too big because that's a fight that sells itself. That's a fight that can sell itself. Maybe not on pay-per-view, but that's a big fight on Fox, on free TV, on Showtime. That's a big fight. It sells itself. Yeah, Ruben. Ruben. He got to lose that weight. Let me see. You say Gerald Long says Mel said he would drop a belt. He said he'll drop a belt. I don't know, because that's even a sticky situation, right? I'm your partner, right? And I'm moving up because I'm sick of, I've been at the same weight division for basically my whole career, and I'm gonna move up, right? You in the division, well, I don't see Errol Spence putting Jermell Charlo in that bind to Jermell Charlo. Hey, I got all these belts and I'm gonna drop a belt and just basically let you fight for it. I don't see Errol Spence taking that. I don't see him doing that. I don't see him putting Jermell Charlo in that position. And really, if Jermell Charlo loving all them belts, I don't see him dropping them bitches. You know, and then what belt are you gonna drop? No. What belt are you gonna drop? So I don't know. It's a lot of questions to be answered at the end of the day. J Real Live say I don't like Thurman. He says, but him and EJ is still a good fight. It's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight. Todd Swindle says Thurman looked a couple cheeseburgers short of 160. He bigger than 160, Todd. He bigger because even if he was 160, that would still be a good weight for him to be at. Probably right now, he would still have what? Like 14 pounds to cut. Like, yeah, 160 ain't that bad. But he looked like he's maybe 168 up in there. Hey, Julio Martinez in here getting his game on. Hey, man, I can't hate it. I can't hate it. But salute to you. Wilson say that boy was looking 175-ish. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was looking a lot bigger than 160. Because if he was 160, he would have been straight. You know what I'm saying? 160 straight. You know, 160, he got about what, like 13 pounds to lose. Yeah, so it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Y'all make sure that y'all hit my like button. If y'all haven't smashed the like button, hit the like button. We got a fight. Like I said, this weekend, if you want to know, we got Joe Joyce. He's fighting Carlos Takam. I don't think too many people going to be too excited about that fight, but I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. I'm going to tune in if I'm not busy. And other than that, we were supposed to have we know what fight we were supposed to have this weekend. I don't even want to talk about it. You know, the man robbed us of that fight. You know what I'm saying? The man robbed us of that fight. So we can't get what we were supposed to have this weekend. But, you know, we got some fights coming up in the near future. We got good fights. We got Rigondeaux and John Casamiro. We got him. We got Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. Then we got Jose Uzcategui and David Benavidez. And then we should have an announcement with Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant pretty soon too. So we got a lot to look forward to. And before we get up out of here, make sure that y'all hit my like button. Once again, if y'all haven't hit my like button, we will be back on Monday. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for showing love and tuning in. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And we gone.